Hola, ¿qué pasa, tío? Ian here, and this is my review for the Truthear Hola single dynamic driver IEM. Alright, so now before I begin, I'd like to thank Surgeon Audio for sending this to me and making this video possible. But guys, rest assured that whatever I say in this video is my own opinion. This video is not scripted, and Surgeon Audio will be watching this video together with you guys. Alright, so Truthear Hola, right, is a single dynamic driver, is a budget IEM priced at $18.99. So for those of you who are interested, do check out the link down in the description below. And yeah, so as usual in this video, I'll go through the accessories, the fit and comfort, and of course I'll talk about the sound performance. Now this video will be time-stamped, so for those of you who wish to skip around, please feel free to do so. Right, so it comes in a box like this with the anime waifu girl in front, right, with the name Hola. At the back, they do show you a graph, a frequency graph of it, which is quite similar to mine, and some specs. Right, so this is a single dynamic driver, but is an 11mm dynamic driver, unlike the rest of the market, which is 10mm. The diaphragm for this is PU plus LCP. Impedance of this is 28 ohms. Sensitivity is 120 VRMS, and the frequency range is 20 to 20,000 hertz. Okay, now inside the box you will find specs of the waifu, right, with her name, with Shiroi, and well, everything. I'm not too sure why they have specs for that, but yeah, so yeah, that's paperwork. Okay, paperwork. Then they do provide a pouch. At $19, they provide a very pretty nice pouch, okay, with the Truthear branding on it. It's actually a coin pouch, okay, but it will protect your IEM if you were to put it inside from your keys and your coins and anything that's sharp. But obviously it will not protect your IEMs from being crushed or damaged or, you know, broken if you were to drop it or sit on it. So, but yeah, very nice. I like the black. Next will be the ear tips. Alright, so ear tips, there are two types. Okay, so two types of ear tips. Wide bore, okay, which is this one, sorry, the wide bore and the narrow bore. So if you want more bass, you will go for the narrow bore. If you want more treble, you go for the wide bore. Now, the ear tips are fine, but they are not for me. And the reason why they are not for me is because of the height of these ear tips. They are a little bit too short, and it doesn't go in right into my canal, my ear canal, so it doesn't fit my ear. All right, but they're okay, they're fine for 19 bucks, and you know, you get two different types of ear tips for 19 bucks, which is a pretty good deal, right? So that's for the ear tips. Now, cable is pretty okay as well, you know, surprisingly. For 19 bucks you get a pretty good cable. Does tangle a little bit, but it does have quite a good form to the cable itself. It doesn't really flop on itself or anything like this. It's a bit sticky, a bit rubbery. It's a 2-core cable with an angled headphone jack, and Y splitter that is made of metal, and a pretty good chin slider, I might say, that well, stays in position for one, right? So it keeps it up to your chin. And the ear hooks are pretty good, right? It's not too soft, not too hard, and it actually holds the IM in position and does not tug on it. Okay, so pretty good cable, I would say. Now, IEM itself is also pretty normal, I would say, but it looks pretty good. I mean, with kind of a snowflake kind of design or star design, I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty flat type of faceplate, and pretty normal, I would say. And at the back here, you do get I think it's 3D printed. It looks like it. Looks so perfect. It's definitely not handmade. Nothing is handmade here. By the way, I have my own ear tips here, which is the CP145. You know, as I mentioned, the stock ear tips didn't really fit me, so I had to use my own ear tips. So yeah, so that's my ear tips. The nozzle on this, now the nozzle on this is wide, is really big. Yeah, it's a big nozzle, right, with a metal mesh in it. Okay, now that's for the design. Pretty nice standard design. fit and comfort. Oh, these fit me pretty okay. I wouldn't say it's the perfect fit, but it's pretty comfortable. Okay, it doesn't give me any physical pain. I can wear them well for quite some time. I don't need to take them out. Only thing is, with the stock tips, doesn't give me a seal, but with my own CP145, it gives me a pretty good seal, and it stays in position as well. The cable doesn't tug the IEM out from my ears, so pretty okay. Alright, so now let's talk about sound, and let me bring out my iPad for that. Alright, so this is the graph, or how I graphed it, right, for the Truthear Hola. If you look at the box itself, it's if you compare to the graph to the box, it's quite similar to my graph. Okay, now let's talk about the technicalities of this Hola before we talk about the sound signature. Technicalities on this, I would say, is pretty alright for 19 bucks, right? It's not the best, of course. I mean, it's a budget IEM. Technicalities on this is reasonable. It does perform above its price point. Okay, soundstage is wide, pretty wide. It's kind of small, but it's not that small. Right, I do have smaller soundstage, more intimate soundstage on other IEMs, but this is a pretty average soundstage. So it's not the widest, it's not the narrowest, so it's pretty okay. It's got good height, right? In terms of the soundstage, I do hear some height. Kind of a not really surround sound, but a good cohesion in terms of height and width, and depth as well. All right, depth is I would say not much of a layers, but it's quite, not that far as well. So kind of small sound stage, but it's all right. It's pretty good. For sound separation and imaging, I would say sound separation is pretty okay as well. Is pretty standard, I would say. Standard type of sound separation. I can hear instruments that are on the left side and the right side. In terms of imaging, I would say I could roughly tell where they are. Is okay, quite good in terms of the imaging and positioning of the instruments and sound separation. So it's pretty above average. Okay, now for detail retrieval and resolution, I would say detail retrieval is pretty good, above average as well. I can actually pick up some nuances of details, and it's actually for the price, it's okay. It retrieves details pretty well. For resolution, I think resolution wise is alright. It's not the best, most resolute IEM that I've had. Obviously, I'm not comparing to those super expensive IEMs, but with the similar priced IEMs, they're pretty okay, pretty resolute for the price that they are asking for. Okay. Right, so that's for the technicalities. Let's talk about the tone and timbre on these. They sound natural with a little bit of warmth and kind of a linear type of tuning. Okay, natural balanced tuning, which quite a few IEMs already have this tuning. Okay, tone note weight is a little bit on the heavy side and a bit heavier than some of the IEMs. For example, the 7Hz 0 is a little bit heavier than that, but it's close to the HBB, right? So QKZ HBB, and this sounds pretty similar. Okay. Right, so that's for the tone and timbre. Let's talk about the sound signature. So as I mentioned, right, this is more of a balanced tuning. The bass is just a little bit boosted, I would say. Treble is recessed, not a very bright and harsh treble. In fact, you will not get any harshness or any sibilance or any shoutiness from this IEM. As you can see, the only peak that you can see is actually at the air. So this part here, that won't really give you that shrill or that shoutiness. Okay, so other than that, the entire frequency is kind of flat, but you can see the dip here in the mids, right? So I would say the bass is a little bit boosted. So sub bass I would say is got good rumble. It's got good presence forward, and it's got firm and extended rumble. Resolution wise, I would say it's okay, quite clear to the rumble, and extended lah, of course. Mid bass is punchy, got good impact. I would hope that is a little bit less because it bleeds to the mids quite a bit. Okay, so I hope that the mid bass was a little bit tamed, but well, it's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad. It's good. All right, it's got good fast bass, but it bleeds a little bit. Okay, to the mids. Mids are forward in terms of the lower mids. So pianos and trumpets, anything that has got lower frequencies, they sound present and authoritative. Note weight is a bit on the warm and heavy side. So yeah, it's pretty good, right? It's colored. I can hear that it's colored. It's not natural. It's not linear. It's not neutral kind of tuning. So I can hear that, the instruments, they are more of a warm, easy to listen to type of sound signature, right? For vocals, I would say vocals sounds pretty okay on this as well. It's pretty good. It's pretty balanced. Okay, they've got a bit of that note weight, a bit of that authority in the presence, and also a bit of a warmth to that also. So it's not a dry type of vocal, and it's pretty engaging, I would say. It brings out the emotions in me when I'm listening to my tracks. So it's pretty engaging, and I would say casual, a bit casual because of the bass type of listening experience. Okay, so yeah, it's bassy, it's got good presence in bass, it's got good presence in the vocals as well. Male vocals would sound a bit better on this as compared to female vocals. Female vocals will sound a bit lethargic, a bit laid back, I would say. Okay, on this IM, but both male and female sounds pretty okay, right? Treble. All right, so treble, I would say in terms of energy, it was just a little bit lack of that, the presence of the treble, and the energy and the gain to the treble from the mids. So I would say, and that affects quite a bit, like for vocals, the clarity of the female vocals, I would say, that would be affected. Okay, so female vocal sounds a bit laid back. Instruments like flutes and trumpets, they sound a little bit recessed. Okay, so but it's not that bad because it's not impeded by the bass, not by a lot. I mean, if the bass is really boosted, then you hear a very muffled treble, but not in this case. So I would say, yeah, it's just okay. Yeah, treble's pretty balanced also. Okay, the presence, I would say, yeah, again, is not as present, and also is not a very bright treble, right? Actually is kind of dark, right? If you look at the treble here, but some IMs, which I'll compare later, they sound dark, but actually if you listen to it as a whole, as I mentioned, graph doesn't tell you everything. It tells you some, but you really need to listen to it. And when I listen to this, it doesn't sound that dark as in terms of the tonal balance, because the bass is not that boosted. Thus, the treble is not. It doesn't sound that recessed as well, so it doesn't sound that dark. Also, right? So, in terms of the brightness of the treble is just nice. I would say, yeah, just nice. It's got good air, right? Good air. Extension of the cymbal strikes, hi-hats is pretty good, and it rolls off pretty naturally. Okay, a bit short, a bit unnatural, but I think it's okay. My ears can't really hear that far anyway, but that's for me lah. Okay, right. So that's for the entire frequency. Now, my conclusion. Now, what I would say for $19, is actually it competing in a very crowded environment. There's a lot of IEMs in this environment already, and let me just pull up a few just to show you guys. Okay, first is the 7 Hertz 0, and then you have the Mecca. Let me just put on the Mecca as well, and then there is also, what else? Okay, so as you can see, I pulled up quite a few IEMs here. You have the Moondrop True, the KZ EDCX, the QKZ HBB, Moondrop Quarks, Moondrop True, and quite a few. Yeah, 7Hz Zero, Tangju Warner, KZZNA. You get what I mean, right? So most of their tuning is hovering somewhere around this pattern, okay? And most of them are around this price point. So my point here is that it's very crowded. It's a very crowded room, and in order for them to get noticed, they really need to sound a bit different, I guess. But yeah, in terms of sound, they sound good, right? Just like the rest. So I would say, just another budget IM in the market. But of course, if you want to consider the accessories, then yeah, maybe they give a bit more better quality accessories in terms of cable, in terms of the ear tips and the pouch. Well, not for me, the ear tips, but yeah, the pouch, yeah. But in terms of the sound, I would say it's pretty common these days, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you ask me, of course I'll recommend it. They sound good, and for $19, they are definitely performing above their price point. You know, $19 you get this kind of sound is fantastic, right? And it's suitable for, well, most genre of music, right? It's a balanced tuning. You can listen to all kinds of genre on this, and it still sound good, right? It's not a very unusual type of tuning whereby it's only suitable for certain genre. For this type of tuning, you can listen to almost anything, and it's casual listening. It's got that a bit of color to the sound that it produces. Just nice. Yeah, right. So if you guys are interested, again, please check out the link down in the description below. Right, so that concludes my overall review for this Truthear Hola. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.